What's up, guys? Welcome to the season finale of Season 5 the Monday Night Wars. I am Chad Talks, and joining me as always is Jmack Gaming.
Can you take me higher? Yeah, Chad,
we're here.
This is the season finale. The end of 2003 is upon us, and it's the grand finale, the Super Bowl of WCW. It's Starrcade 2003, and you're not seeing this incorrectly. Your eyes are not deceiving you. We're back to a two-night extravaganza. WCW.
We heard your cries. You said Starrcade is just simply not big enough for one night, and WCW answered your prayers. Your wishes have been granted. The two-night extravaganza is back. Justin, before we start, though, I thought I hit Psycho Sermon for night one, but apparently I didn't because it's glowing down there. Can you just make sure that's clicked?
I don't know what you're talking about. What is a Psycho Sermon? Yeah, you clicked it.
Yeah, whatever that is.
You got it.
Okay, cool. Listen, I don't care if the fans know. Because we had to split it into two nights. Night 2 is the historic pay-per-view. So we need to try to give the Psycho Sermon to night 1, so that way we can hopefully...
You're getting too deep into it, brother. You're getting too deep into it, brother. You're...
Just explain it.
Chad Collier, the nut job's
the
coming into it, brother.
that's in the weeds. We are here with night 1 of Starrcade, Justin. We have 2 banger shows planned. Justin, are you excited?
I am very excited. I don't want to go into previous show history because I don't want to look at your main screen kind of things, all that malarkey. But yeah, we are here. 2003. It's one of the quickest times we've gone through a whole year of content. And I think it's just because of the way we record now, even with me being gone half the time, most of the time, not even half, it's most of the time. Being away from the TEW streaming house, I think it's just doing pay-per-views only allows us to get more stuff out quickly, because I think this would have taken a long time otherwise. I think this would have been a sludge to get through 2003. If we had to find time to record TV and pay-per-view, we would still probably be in we'd be in May still. I think it's just that's how long it took trying to get, because it was an hour per show, probably. So 4 hours trying to get through.
And, there certainly is, like, the issues. Like, I know Justin and I were talking while we were, like, while we were booking in the days leading up to this, that, sometimes things happen and we're like, oh, wow, that would have been nice to have seen, but, like, I don't know. I just think we just need to this is why me and Justin just kind of, fill each other in on what's going on. But then also why we do the big, like, we just have to explain it in the pay-per-views, which I think we do a pretty good job at.
Very much so. We'll just get right into it, Chad. WWE, WCW, Starrcade.
Oh, WCW!
NXT Starrcade Night 1, headlined by Trick Williams and Ilya Dragunov. It's going to be a massive Wait, wrong pay-per-view? What are you talking about? Leave a like, leave a comment. Hey, well, give me any ideas. If you have any ideas for the series or any other series you want to see, I don't really ask this much, but give me a shout in the comments. Maybe a solo Jmack series comes out. Maybe Chad revives a TNA series. Spoilers, probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Maybe I do a modern day WWE save. I don't know. We'll see. If you guys have any interest in that, let me know. I think I'll be on the road with a microphone and a computer, so why not try to record stuff? Yeah. But also, we got the Slammies, the year-end awards coming up. Any guesses for Wrestler of the Year or your personal Wrestler of the Year, Show of the Year? What was your favorite pay-per-view of the year? Put that down below. Maybe your favorite match or story that myself or Chad Talks, maybe Chad, sorry, that went to your shoot name right there. A favorite story that we have provided, your favorite superstar or least favorite superstar, any of that. Give me your ideas down below, your thoughts and opinions on the series in 2003 as a whole, and we'll get into it in the year-end review. And but no more stalling, no more slacking off like I'm doing right now. Chad, it's Starrcade. The stars,
Starrcade time,
the
baby.
lights are bright, the stars are out. Creed has sent us into the intro. Let's get into the show. Can you take me higher?
As we have a pre-show six-man tag, WCW was advertising this as the zero hour. Just kidding, no, we weren't. It's a pre-show match, and in a decent pre-show match, the FBI defeat Sandman and Snowballs in 12:46 with when Johnny Stamboli pins Sandman. Just a fun pre-show match. I felt bad the FBI aren't on the card because even though they've been, not the most successful trio as of late, I enjoy having them, and I wanted to give them a little love. And here we have Dave Meltzer, your Starrcade pre-show lead panelist, and he has an entire panel of star-studded people. Nick Dinsmore is also here.
Did you not mean to put Nick Dinsmore in here?
So I actually did this one other time when I was booking something here. My thumb accidentally scrolled down over the none because at first I was gonna add more panelists, and then I was like, I don't want any, I want none. But instead of hitting none, I hit Nick Dinsmore. I almost did it earlier too, or another time too, but I caught it that time.
So
Nick Dinsmore is here on our wonderful panel with Medusa, Jeremy Borash, James Storm, and Dave Meltzer. Of course, we are here at the Nissan Stadium in Tennessee, and they're just hyping us up for the show. And James Storm, of course, he was originally scheduled to participate in the Night 2 Money in the Bank, but Justin, one of the many unlucky things to happen in the lead up to this pay-per-view, James Storm was injured, and so he had a shot to have the biggest match of his career in front of his hometown fans, and now he's on the pre-show panel.
Yeah, I was going to go over that, but I just remembered, we don't show TVs. So James Storm and Bobby Roode took on the Quick City Kingpins in a Money in the Bank qualifying tag team match.
So it was the Buried.
Was it the Buried? No, the Buried went on a different night. I swear it was Seema Nagila. Okay, you might be right. You know your show more than I do. And yeah, James Storm and Bobby Roode did get the win, qualifying both of them to get in, but James Storm bruised his shoulder, damaged his shoulder. Was it?
Yeah, he damaged his shoulder.
Okay, so which is unfortunately in the biggest Starrcade in his hometown of Nashville, Tennessee, cost him a shot at being on the main card, and now look at him, he's in a fucking promo with Nick Dinsmore. So
Yeah, now he's sharing a panel with Nick Dinsmore and Medusa and Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, what a fucking he's just drinking.
Love WCW Road Agent.
Yeah, beloved WCW Road Agent Dave Meltzer. Is that it in the pre-show right there? The pre-show panel? What do they gotta say?
That's the pre-show.
What does Medusa gotta say?
So Medusa's like, in the weeks leading up to this, Medusa talks about how Beth Phoenix was suspended for steroids and stripped of the women's championship, and now she puts over that we are going to have the women's Money in the Bank match will now be for the women's championship match.
Very much so. All right, let's get into the next.
Nick Dinsmore just says, "Hi everyone, I'm Nick Dinsmore.
I'm not supposed to be here, but I am here."
And our pre-show main event, Kevin Steen defeated Stevie Ray by blatantly cheating and won by submission.
You know what? Fuck Kevin Steen.
What? Damn.
Blatantly.
I made Sherry Martel Stevie Ray's manager because she was a manager with no clients, and she did a good job at ringside.
Good for her, but Stevie Ray couldn't go 8 minutes.
No, he is
done.
Withering away.
He's done. Withering away.
He is withering away.
That's a good way to put it.
And we have now the opening video package of Night 1 of Starrcade with, of course, Creed, "Can You Take Me Higher?" And we put over our big fun matches tonight. We've got, of course, Stable Warfare. Bill Goldberg, the man of the Army of One, the World Heavyweight Champion, taking on, of course, a man who has an entire dojo behind him, Ken Shamrock. He was the man who Goldberg beat for the World Heavyweight Championship, but in that match we also have, of course, the leader of the Wicked Abyss, a man who ever since his streak of his undefeated streak on Nitro was ruined by Goldberg, has returned once again to his wicked ways and he kidnapped Samoa Joe. We haven't seen Samoa Joe since. And of course now in the final man in there representing the Paul Heyman guys, the leg breaker, Masahiro Chono. Masahiro Chono wrestled Rey Mysterio in the weeks leading up to this show and led to Rey Mysterio's leg being broken. He has since then called himself the leg breaker. He has been putting people's legs in chairs and kicking it in every single week leading up, and he even did it to Goldberg in a numbers game. The Army of One was not strong enough as his leg was smashed in with a chair, and Masahiro Chono took his belt and has worn it around in the weeks leading up, and every time Goldberg has been trying to track him down, the Paul Heyman guys and the Wicked and the Shamrock Savage Dojo, all of them have been, this has been an exploding battle, but it will finally come to blows tonight. We also have Mick Foley, a man who has also vowed to end the Paul Heyman guys, taking on his longtime rival Raven. They met in the playoffs. Raven had the upper hand. Mick Foley has challenged Raven for the U.S. Championship. Tonight, it is in a hardcore match. And we also have the Big Guns defending their tag team championships against a team who won a number one contenders match months ago. But every time they try to get their title match, there's always been outside interference. Tonight, Low Shapes gets their opportunity against the Big Guns, and we have many, many, many more things in store for you tonight. Can you take me higher? That sounds like a good show so far.
Yeah, it's got Creed. How can the show be bad with Creed in here?
Of course.
I don't even care about anything else. I'm worried. Give me more Creed. That's it. Cancel all the matches.
As we jump right in.
Give me Creed.
Yeah, just cancel the matches. We're going right to a Creed concert. As we jump right into the women's world title ladder match. And we hear the participants. We have Debbie Malenko. We've got the newcomer Gail Kim. We got Jacqueline Moore, a woman who has, in the few weeks, has gained a new friend in Jackie Gata. They've been calling themselves Jackie and Jackie. We also have Mariko Yoshida, Nicole Bass, Takako Ino, Tara, and Trish Stratus. Tara was, of course, scheduled to go one-on-one against Beth Phoenix, but Beth Phoenix, of course, did steroids, and we had to suspend her. So we have the Money in the Bank ladder match for the belt, and in a decent match, Tara defeated Debbie Malenko, Gail Kim, Jacqueline Moore, Yoshida, Nicole Bass, Takako, and Trish Stratus in a Money in the Bank ladder match when Tara retrieved the briefcase that held the women's championship inside it, and Tara wins the WCW women's title.
Tara Verone on the eve of her biggest match on the biggest night of it all had her dream ripped away by a selfish Beth Phoenix getting popped for illegal steroids, and this opportunity right here.
In the weeks leading up to that, she said, "I'm sick and tired of these selfish superstars taking away my opportunity." And she said, "I'm tired of people coming in here, winning the belt, and then leaving. This is my division, and at Starrcade, I prove it." And she did just that.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it has been a very constant cycle of someone winning the women's championship and either getting popped and getting fired, or in suspending, or just leaving while champion.
Toyota did both.
It's been, Toyota's been both. We've had a few instances otherwise, but most of the time, the women's championship's kind of cursed. People are starting to say it's got the Madden cover of title curses. People just can't either. Once they get the belt, the power gets to their head and they start thinking they can do whatever they want, or they see dollar signs in their eyes, and it has gone awry for a lot of the champions previous to Tara. But Tara, who's been on a roll coming into this, like I said, this is her big shining moment, was that one-on-one match with Beth, but it got ripped away, and She didn't let it go to waste, though, as she comes out still your women's champion after defeating 7 other women in a ladder match for the title.
Yes. The head bitch in charge is
Can
now the
you
champion.
take me
Me
higher?
higher. Oh yeah, and Tara celebrates with the fans.
And Creed.
And by the
As
fans, I mean she celebrates mostly by herself.
there are
kind of
no
just like, yeah,
fans.
I'm
This is
that
an
bitch.
AEW Dynamite tapping, chat
This
says.
is we see here. We see here in the bottom left corner of the screen. It says earlier tonight, and you see Minoru Suzuki and Big Daddy V walking through the parking lot. Minoru Suzuki says, "You know what part one of the plan was taking out Goldberg's leg and taking the championship. Part 2 of the plan tonight is to make sure nobody gets in our way." As they're walking through the parking lot, that you see appearing through the shadows, out comes Relic and Mil Muertes. And then as they're about to come to blows, you see Lash LaRue walking by himself. And they're all looking, they're like, oh, where's Samoa Joe? Of course, Samoa Joe has been kidnapped by the Wicked. And Lash LaRue, he says, you know what, I'm here by myself, but I'll defend my dojo. And as he's in his fighter stance and it looks like they're about to come to blows, all of a sudden, a pickup truck comes driving, peeling out. It stops, and out comes the Noble Warriors, Achilles and James Gibson. Achilles, the Greek god, trying to restore James Gibson's nobility and help him prove himself worthy to rejoin the mentorship of Randy Savage. James Gibson, he gets out and he says, "You will not be fighting alone tonight, Lash. Tonight, I earn my nobility. Tonight, I earn my honor." As James Gibson stands next to Lash LaRue, he looks at Achilles and he says, "This is our fight." And Achilles says, "Sick, I'm going to go back to catering and party in the back. See ya."
Oh
And
no, get fucked, Achilles.
and we have here a parking lot brawl.
Oh shit. Oh, he just leaves. All right, let's get in to it right here. Where oh boy.
And in a good match, Minoru Suzuki and Big Daddy V defeat Mil Muertes, Relic, Lash LaRue, and James Gibson in a street fight. Suzuki submitted Mil Muertes in a street fight, ladies and gentlemen. We don't make this stuff up here. And as dust settles and all the body, James Gibson in this little street fight in the parking lot. He was just covered in blood, but he would not back down. He kept the fight coming. But Minoru Suzuki and Big Daddy V, even though in the last couple of months that maybe they've had some unlucky circumstances happening, but they're still a wrecking crew. And as the dust settles and the bodies are laying everywhere, Suzuki and Big Daddy V, they're looking at each other, and Suzuki says, "And now on to part 3. What does that mean, Justin?
Part 3. They're still waiting on part 1 because Goldberg still has the belt, but part 3 is
Chono physically has the belt.
Oh yeah, you are right. You are right. Sorry, I'm going technicality wise. Do you think James Gibson gets the win if he has Achilles by his side?
You know what? He might. But then it would have been a 3-on-2-on-2, and there's not much honor in that.
Well, it's not much.
I thought about just throwing a third guy in Wicked for no reason, but I was like, no, that doesn't make sense.
There's not much honor than not fighting by your brethren. And he fought with some guy he barely knows in Lash LaRue. That's not noble at all.
He chased off Paul Heyman in a pickup truck.
Who, Achilles?
Yeah, Paul Heyman was there, and Achilles just tried chasing him off with the pickup truck.
Well, fair.
Or maybe it was Paul Bearer.
He's confused. Achilles looks good. He's just dumb. All right.
Yeah.
Well, no, Paul Heyman's back.
That was the segment. That was Paul Heyman saying, "Now it's time for part 3."
He did a lap around He's like, I gotta go again.
He's like, "I finally lost Achilles." As we move on to our next video segment, highlighting the love story of Shane Helms and, of course, Nora, also talking about this epic battle of good and evil, the Just Us League versus the Vampires. You see, Shane Helms and Nora, every time they tried to like hang out, that they had a double date, it was crashed by the vampires, and Rain was getting involved in Nora's matches and even beat her a number of weeks ago. And the Just Us League came to her side, and they even all tried to work and fight together. But the vampires have always seemed to come up just just a little bit ahead. And it took something super hat to happen. Nora decided I'm gonna embrace my inner hero, and she has become Mighty Nora and has decided to join the Just Us League. And tonight we have a 4-on-4 tag team match: the Just Us League versus the Vampires. Justin, who do you got?
I'm gonna go with the good guys because it's a feel good story for the crowd. It's a feel good story for good versus evil, and it's a love story for the ages. And second of all, I don't ever want to put my money on a guy that looks like Fang. Look at the Kiss Demon; he is out and about, and I don't want to.
I don't like it.
I don't like him, so I'm gonna go with the Justice League.
Nice. And in a decent match, the Hurricane, Mighty Nora, and Just Us League defeat the Vampires in 1440 when Mighty Nora pins Rain with a Molly Go Round.
Why did she call it the Molly Go Round?
Who knows?
Fang got a 49, so I take it all back. He did better than Drew Blood, so...
Yeah, Drew Blood was the weak link here.
He wasn't much better. I'll give him that. Rain to 54, okay, better than Shark Boy. Who would have thought? The Hurricane and Gangrel. What did Mighty Nora do? 64. She's got 2 R's now, brother. She got an extra R in her name.
You got an extra R. That's because she's really, really super.
A massive win for good versus evil. I hope Mighty Nora and Hurricane have a nice time tonight together.
Yes, a super celebration. And after the match, of course,
they're all doing celebration.
Hurricane, Mighty Nora, and Super Eric are doing some kind of pose. They're doing their big superhero poses, and Hurricane's like, "Shark Boy," and they're looking around, and then turns out he was under the ring, and he comes back out, and he's, instead of popping bottles, he's got bottles of the clam juice, and he rolls in, and he's just chugging them. As they're all celebrating the ring, the battle of good and evil is over, and the Just Us League stand tall.
And that's the end of the show, everybody. In the Justice League, that's it. Good justice prevails. We'll see you for night 2, brother. Let's move on. Our next segment. Oh my God.
Yes, Rey Mysterio is here, and he says, I may not be able to give you a rocking wrestling performance tonight at Starrcade, but I can give you a rocking rock performance. And he pulls out a guitar and he plays "Can You Take Me Higher" in a live concert with, of course, the band who does the official theme song of Starrcade, Creed.
Can you break my leg?
And people are just so like impressed that Rey Mysterio is playing a guitar while also having crutches for his broken leg.
Oh, that's the crowd going, "Oh!" And we move on.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Rey Mysterio, he's injured, but he's still here. He wanted to at least be at Starrcade. So.
Rey Mysterio, James Storm getting hurt.
Probably going away after this until he's back from injury.
Speaking
of course, we are getting ready. We are getting ready for our, of course, next championship match. Now, Justin, this is, of course, the television champion, Johnny Swinger. However, this championship belt, in honor with the partnership with ESPN as a sign of goodwill, we have christened the ESPN title. And of course, that title is held by Johnny Swinger, who is on his way to the ring right now to defend it against Michinoku when, oh my gosh, Jimmy Yang and Funaki from behind! What are they doing? And they just, with kendo sticks, just both take turns, just smacking Johnny Swinger with kendo sticks, and they take him and they throw him into the ring steps. Funaki rolls him into the ring as Jimmy Yang does a moonsault off the top rope. They beat Johnny Swinger's ass as Michinoku's music hits, and he comes down to the ring. This man, of course, was the man who defeated Taz in his Cruiserweight Championship match, and quite frankly, maybe got in Taz's head and sent him packing, but he is here tonight to hopefully capture, well, and hopefully in his mind, not in all the minds of the Swingers out there, but he's hopeful to win the ESPN title from Johnny Swinger. Can he do it? We're about to find out. Justin, who do you got?
I'm going Johnny Swinger. It's swinging time. He's swinging for the fences.
Swinging time. Oh, I like that. He's swinging for the fences, and he does just that in a decent match. Johnny Swinger defeats Michinoku in 15:27 with a swing thing, and Johnny Swinger makes defense number 4 of the WCW ESPN title.
The ESPN title. All right,
We'll fix that later.
We'll fix that later. Johnny Swinger, an unexpected superstar coming out of the playoffs. And he's really.
People are wondering, could he make a run for rookie of the or newcomer of the year for our little offseason thing, or has he just was it just not soon enough?
It was a late push, but honestly, he very might win it on the WCW side. I mean, he might have been 3-39 prior, but he has been on a roll since what was his old name? Scooter Hooter.
Since the Scooter Hooter days.
Yeah, man, he really took that gimmick and threw it in the trash and really has elevated himself into a proper member of the roster and defeated Michinoku's no slouch. Taka Michinoku's a former WWE Tag Team and Cruiserweight Champion, Lightweight Champion, sorry.
And remember, the year they did the Cruiserweight Classic, the year that The Rock showed up, the winner of the Cruiserweight Classic got to be in a 4-way match for the first ever Universal Championship. Taka Michinoku was that guy.
Did he win? No, but he was in it. He won the Cruiserweight Classic.
He was in it.
Taka's a big name, so a big win for Johnny Swinger at Starrcade. This will really elevate Johnny Swinger to the eyes of the WCW fans watching in attendance. Oh boy.
As we see here, Justin, we go to, of course you're seeing it there, everybody, Hall of Famer. Now, we're going to induct one member into the WCW Hall of Fame for both nights. One man is going to join the elite names of Dusty Rhodes, the NWO, Hollywood Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. And this man is a man who some will say is a narcissist. Some people will say he was all about, having a nice body, didn't really care about wrestling. But other people will tell you he's the total evil package. We got the 2-time ESPN. Now it's ESPN, but it was the 2-time television champion. We got a former Thunder Tag Team champion. We got a 4-time United States champion. And before we took over the save, a 2-time heavyweight champion. But who cares about that? This has been one of my favorite people to book and one of my favorite teams I've ever had. And tonight, he joins his 2 proteges, 2 members of the Flex Express, Lex Luger and A-Train. Quiz and A-Train. Justin, Lex Luger is one of your 2003 Hall of Fame inductees.
Well deserved. Was a big guy when we started the save. He's a big guy now. Chad's, like he said, one of his favorite things, I remember, total cable package being the highlights of Monday Night Nitros and pay-per-views alike through the late 90s in this save. And they even had a WrestleMania match where Lex Luger and Sid Vicious were, hanging around. Alex Luger, one of the big names of this save, and it's a very well-deserved spot in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, Chad, you went through the title. I'm not gonna go through the titles that he won, but you already did it, so I don't need to. Let's move on. But he's wearing with A Train and
He
Quiz.
also won the terrific tree. If you remember, Justin, back in the day, he also won the terrific trios tournament, which is something I never actually made a thing for. But he did win a trios tournament back in the day.
Did they announce? Did they bring up the global tag team titles as well that he was a title holder of?
Oh, he also won the global tag team
Yeah,
championships.
exactly.
Lex Luger's done it all.
Lex Luger has done it all. A massive guy, Lex Luger. What more can be said about him? And now he's the leader of the Flex Express, a team that has shown potential and promise here in WCW. So we just got to get
Yes,
Quiz a
indeed.
better name, and we'll tag team champions confirmed.
Well, funny enough,
Oh, I was
they won a
joking.
trios. They wanted so behind the curtain. I wanted to book a trios gauntlet match, but it ended up just not. Like I need to figure out how I'm gonna do it. Because it just wouldn't have been good. So instead, I decided to do like a trios eliminator, and the Flex Express. They ended up coming down. They ended up being that trios team. They said they were motivated by Lex Luger's Hall of Fame induction. They said, you know what? Let's get this guy one more before he goes. And they were able to pick up a couple big wins here. And Justin, they will be taking on the Empire tonight for the Trios Championships. Now, the stories going into this match is, will Scott Steiner show up? Because one of those teams that was trying to get in the mix, their whole thing was they needed to be at Starrcade. The Buried, they tried to be in Money in the Bank. They tried to be in the Thunder Tag Team title match. Then the last ditch effort, they tried to get in a trios match, and in fact, when they couldn't get it, great. Well, they did. TJ Wilson was able to defeat Scott Steiner, and Great Khali came out and whooped Steiner's ass, to be quite honest with you, and beat him so bad, they said, you know what, if we can't be in a trios title match, neither can you, Scott. And will Scott Steiner show up to the match? Who will know? But it's kind of a bummer. How kind of an unsportsmanlike thing to do, Justin. The Buried ruining Hall of Famer Lex Luger's last shot at a title, and also, quite frankly, Scott Steiner and Booker T and Ace Steel, who have been on a run as of late.
All my homies hate the Wicked. They always hate him.
The Buried.
You said the Wicked. Sorry.
I meant the Buried.
Yeah, my bad. I was fucking. My head's in a cloud right now.
Listen, it's 1:45 in the morning. I get it.
Next segment.
Yeah, next segment.
Oh, Scott Steiner's here.
Guess what? He did make it. It's Booker T and Ace Steel. They come down to the ring. The Flex Express. Well, the Flex Express get in the ring. They're in the ring while they're showing the Lex Luger Hall of Fame speech. They're in there. They're all flexing. Booker T and Ace Steel. They show up. And then right as they're about to ring the bell, Scott Steiner's music hits. His fans cheer. He does this Steiner pose. Steiner, he's embraced the fans again, and he races down to the ramp, and they are here. And in a decent match, the Eaton Empire defeat Lex Luger and the Flex Express when when Scott Steiner pinned Quiz with a Frankensteiner. They make defense number 1 of the Trios title.
Sorry, I thought I had my mic unmuted. My bad. I was kept talking. An unfortunate. I mean, what a night it could have been for Lex Luger. I mean, Hall of Fame inductee, could have been a trios champion, but he was let down by not only by his body but A Train. And Quiz. But Quiz held his own. A 71 in ring was the second best in this match. Take that, Booker and Scott Steiner, who are day by day falling apart in ring.
We're just day by day falling apart.
Yeah, Ace Steel holding his own. He's the bounty hunter for a reason. Quiz. Sorry, I keep calling him Test, man. Quiz is an awful name. Quiz, man. He's the future of the WCW company, and it was a feel good moment for Lex Luger to get the Hall of Fame inductee. Could have been better if he won the trios belt, but Scott Steiner is back, baby. He can't be killed.
What's this? He's grabbing a microphone and he says, "All right, everybody, welcome to Starrcade Night 1. And we got an episode of Steiner shoots, and everyone was losing it. And he says, and I gotta tell you something, it's a good thing that this pay-per-view is now 2 frickin' nights, because I wanna fight, because you don't put your hands on the big bad booty daddy and not finish the job. So Buried, night 2, we'll see you there. And he throws the microphone down. Justin, it would appear like Eaton Empire is challenging the Buried on Starrcade Night 2 to the Trios Championship. They're going to get on Starrcade after all.
It seems like they are, man. It seems like they are. I don't want to reward these guys for anything, to be honest with you. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Scott Steiner wants some payback. I get it, you know?
Jesus Christ.
As we see here, of course, I mentioned it earlier in the night, but we got the big guns taking on Los Shapes. Now, Pentagon and Octagon, since coming to WCW, have really been relevant as far as the title picture here. Of course, they've wrestled for the Trios belts with Perry Saturn as Shapes and Planets. They've had tag team title opportunities. And every single time they have an opportunity at a championship, there's always outside interference. They just can't get a clean opportunity. And of course, they were both in the playoff tournament. And even though they didn't come up victorious, they had an impressive showing. And Justin, they won a triple threat tag team match in the first week of Nitro and in the month leading up to Starrcade, and they earned another opportunity against the Big Guns, who won their tag team championships back at the last pay-per-view. Justin, we got the Big Guns, we got Los Shapes, Los Shapes, sorry, I don't know why I thought I said their name wrong. Who do you got?
God, if we get a flip flop back and forth, 4 different tag champs in 6 weeks at shows, RTV, I will lose my mind. If Octagon and Pentagon win this match, I will go strip the WCW tag team titles off of them. Give me Big Show and give me Billy. Thank you.
And in a good match, the Big Guns defeat Los Shapes in 1507. Listen, they put up a hell of a fight, but no interference, no different outcome. The Big Guns defeat Los Shapes and make defense number 1 of the WCW Nitro Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, no interference. Are Pentagon and Octagon stupid? Why didn't they just have someone interfere? Where was Rectangle? Are they stupid?
Where is Rectangle?
Let's move on to the next set.
Shaquille O'Neal is here, everybody! The fans are going wild. He's like, he says, what's up, Nashville? What's shaking? He says, Big Diesel's in the house. And listen, I know I'm not here competing tonight, but I had to get involved in Starrcade. I want to let all you know that I miss you. And I'm tearing it up on the Lakers. Kobe says hi, everyone. I had to come say hello. And then the understudy comes out with Teddy Long and, of course, reality TV superstar Miz. And then you get in the ring and Teddy Long says, now, Shaq, let me holla at you, playa. So you say that you're one of the biggest and hottest stars in the world. You're a superstar athlete. You're in bad movies. You're in bad commercials. Hell, if it wasn't for Kobe, you'd be a bad basketball player. Shaq, playa, you seem incredibly overrated. You see, the real superstar that is in this ring is the understudy, who, of course, now that the idol is gone, rest up on idol. Now that the idol is gone, the understudy steps up and is the lead man. And he is also your 24/7 champion, player, after he got it back from Sonny Siaki's ass. And now we're partnering up with The Miz, who's all over reality TV. Shaq, I'm offering you an opportunity because you could really make yourself a superstar by working with the understudy, with Teddy Long, and more importantly, with your idol. Now, what do you say, playa? And Shaquille O'Neal, he says, I do think you could really help make me a superstar. I think you could really help step my game up and make me a champion. A champion in this ring. I, of course, have already won a championship in my other sport that I'm one of the best in the world at. So, I'll tell you what, Teddy Long, I'll tell you what. If the understudy can win his next match, I will join you. And he says, "All right, player. Who you got in mind?" And Shaq says, "Well, tonight's the night you make me a superstar." And he grabs understudy by the throat and he picks him up and he choke slams him down and he says, "Get a referee in here." You know what that means, Justin? We got Shaq versus the understudy for the 24/7 title. Who do you got?
Oh my God.
Man, in an extremely short match, Shaquille O'Neal defeats the understudy in 509 with a pile driver. He chokeslammed him, and then he picked him up, and he pile driven him down to the ground. And Shaquille O'Neal, he's a champion. He's a dual champion. He wins the 24/7 title.
Dual champion? What other champion is he?
Well, he's a former NBA champion, so I guess he's not an active champion.
Okay. All right. The way you said dual champion, like, did he win the world title real quick? I don't remember. I know I missed Nitros, but did Shaq win the world title?
He's also the cruiserweight champion.
Ah.
But we have, of course, Raven versus Mick Foley, a literal blood feud. These men have gone to war many times throughout their careers. And now Mick Foley, he came back to WCW, and he said, "I came back to settle scores. I came back to right wrongs. I came back to win championships. I came back to prove that Mick Foley still has what it takes." And, you know, he has made it his mission. He realized and saw how corrupt the Paul Heyman guys were, and he made it his mission to try to stop them. And he lost to Raven in the playoff, where he would have had an opportunity to face Rob Van Dam at that time for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Mick Foley, he vowed to get his revenge on Raven. And he challenged Raven to a match for the U.S. Championship. And Raven said, "Mick Foley, do you not know who I am? I've done literally everything there is to do in this company, and I didn't have to leave and come back to do it. I've always been the top dog here. And you know what? Rob Van Dam may not have what it takes to be the man, but I am. And I'm the man in the Paul Heyman guys now, and I don't have to break legs to do it. I am the best. Because I'm the champion. I'm the United States champion. And I've whooped your ass time and time again, and at Starrcade, the outcome will be no different. I'm gonna make you bleed. Quote the Raven, nevermore." Justin, we've got Raven versus Mick Foley in a hardcore match for the U.S. Championship. This one's personal. Who do you got?
I'm going Raven, Chad. I'm going Raven.
Well, in
still.
an exceptional match, Mick Foley defeats Raven in 21-16 with a double arm DDT. Raven beat him in the playoff, but Mick Foley beat him at Starrcade. Mick Foley gets a big Starrcade win and wins the WCW United States Heavyweight title.
Oh yeah, Mick Foley going from GM. He was losing to Chad Collier last December, and now he is your WCW United States
This is
champion.
Foley's baby boy is the United States champion.
And Raven, what a run! What a run he has been. A first class first. No, it doesn't matter.
When he decides to hang it up, or fuck it, even when he decides to keep it going, he a bona fide Hall of Famer. But you talk about Hall of Famers. I think there's at least one Hall of Famer in this little video package right here. At least one. I think you could argue for a few others, but one for sure. I think the 4-time heavyweight champion Bill Goldberg, the Army of One, the man who hasn't had a stable behind him, but who has not backed down from a fight. He's been hobbling lately due to the leg breaker Masahiro Chono, who kidnapped the World Heavyweight Championship. He said, "That's Paul Heyman guy property, and I'm taking it." And then we had Ken Shamrock, the man who Bill Goldberg beat in the playoffs, but a man who wanted a rematch, and Bill Goldberg accepted. But he's had his own monsters to face, one in the form of Abyss, who has continued to make Ken Shamrock pay for costing him his undefeated streak. He's kidnapped Samoa Joe. The Wicked have been beating the dojo week in and week out. It's personal between those two men as well. These four men, stable warfare for the World Heavyweight Championship. Ken Shamrock, Abyss, Masahiro Chono, and Bill Goldberg for the World Heavyweight Championship for the main event of Starrcade Night 1. Justin, who do you got?
There will never be a match where Ken Shamrock is in where I will pick against him. My love of my life, Ken Shamrock, one of the best to do it in WCW, but has never been given that opportunity to show it. I think tonight is the night that he wins championship gold.
Well, the match, it was hard hitting, it was violent. Of course, one thing we can say though, there wasn't any interference until there was. Minoru Suzuki and Big Daddy V, the men who walked out of that parking lot brawl with their heads high and their fists covered in blood. They're walking down the ramp. Oh, what are the Paul Heyman guys doing here? Masahiro Chono, the leg breaker himself, he gets in the ring at this point. At this point, Ken Shamrock has spilled outside of the ring. Bill Goldberg, he's standing there. He's facing Masahiro Chono, and he's facing Minoru Suzuki and Big Daddy V, and he's fighting him off. He's throwing fists. He's punching. Ken Shamrock, he rolls back in the ring. He grabs Minoru Suzuki and he suplexes him into the ground. These two baby faces, Shamrock and Goldberg, they're fighting off the Paul Heyman guys. But from behind, you see Ken Shamrock. He runs into a black hole slam from Abyss, and that surprises Goldberg long enough for the Paul Heyman guys to come in and start the beatdown. And there's chaos, there's fighting, there's violence and chaos everywhere. The monster Abyss, he puts his arms up. It looks like he's going for a choke slam. He grabs Ken Shamrock by the throat, and all of a sudden, Samoa Joe's music hits. He shows up, and he is a man on a warpath. He stares down Abyss, the man who kidnapped him, who via satellite was tied to a chair being tortured by Abyss, and Abyss blamed Ken Shamrock. He said it was all Shamrock's fault. Samoa Joe is here, and he runs down to the ring, and he fights Abyss. Samoa Joe, Ken Shamrock, Bill Goldberg, they're fighting off the Paul Heyman guys. There's chaos everywhere. The monster Abyss, he turns around, spear by Goldberg. 1, 2, 3. Goldberg is still World Heavyweight Champion.
I'm disgusted. I'm sick. I just fell to my knees at the Walmart. Unbelievable. I hate Goldberg. 85 is crazy. I mean, Goldberg's. Did I think Ken Shamrock was gonna win? No.
Army of One.
Goldberg always wins. It's Goldberg, baby.
I wanted to test it. I wanted to test it and see if he'd use his creative control on it. I mean, Bill Goldberg was gonna win regardless, but I just wanted to see if he would, and he said, "I'm not losing to." I tried it with all three of them. He's like, "I'm not losing to any one of these three," which he wasn't going to originally. But
how do you take the belt off of him if he doesn't lose to anyone?
Oh, that's something we'll have to figure out someday.
Let's see. What were you? Chono kept strong. Okay. Storytelling. Okay. Goldberg is your world champion to end night 1. Still your world champion. And
As Starrcade Night 1 is in the books, the World Heavyweight Champion stands tall, and Night 1 gets a 91. Justin, what did you think of Night 1 of Starrcade?
It was a massive show, Chad. And holy shit, there was a lot of matches. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 matches. Holy moly! We got 9 matches to the next night too.
I'll have to see. Who knows?
Holy moly! What a show! It's the granddaddy of them all for a reason. This is your biggest show where all the stories culminate, and it was a great show. It was a shame that it kind of got derailed on the road too. But I think, at least in night 1's eyes, you recovered pretty well, pretty damn well. I'm excited for night 2, where it's The Rock defending his title against blank.
CM Punk.
Okay, spoilers for night 2. And the other matches, including Great Khali getting a Starrcade match again. Awesome.
Hooray!
Yay, we'll see you for night 2.
All right, everybody, what's up? Welcome to night 2 of Starrcade. That's right, the first night was so good, we knew we had to run it back, and here we are. Justin, night 2!
Night 2, Chad. Night Poo. The granddaddy, the season finale. The
Yes.
season finale, or the last show of wrestling of 2003. What 2003 will be remembered by will be on this show tonight. And now we have some previous results to go over now, Chad. Well,
Yes, of course. Starrcades have passed.
1999 Night 2 opened with Shane Helms over Shark Boy. Huh. And now look, they're good friends.
And now look at them. Now they're best buds.
AJ Styles defeated Billy Kidman. Okay, what's Billy Kidman up to? We're going to find out in the year-end review. Savage defeated Jamie Noble and Shannon Moore to retain the TV title. Tommy Dreamer over Mick Foley for the hardcore belt. Wow, that is crazy. Goldberg over Vader. Chad, who was the best of the best?
It was Ahmed and Jericho.
There we go. Wow, Lance Storm and Alex Wrightward team? That's a bad picture for Ahmed. Ugh.
That is a horrible picture of Ahmed.
I don't remember Alex Wright and Lance Storm ever teaming together. What were they called? Do you remember?
Alex Wright and Lance Storm.
That's such a sick name. RVD over Sting for the U.S. belt and Raven over Scott Steiner to retain the WWF or WCW World Heavyweight Championship. The Starrcade Night 2, the last time we've done 2 nights of Starrcade. Matt Hardy won the Cruiserweight Championship in an Ultimate X match. Charmel, the Queen of the Ring, or whatever you call it. Queen of Starrcade? Miss Starrcade?
Yes, it was the Queen of Starrcade, yeah.
Miss Starrcade. Charmel.
Yes.
Shane Douglas and Taz defeated Nash, Six, and the Syndicate to win the belts. Wow, Shane Douglas and Taz, okay. Chyna over Debbie Malenko. Canyon over Raven. Scott Hall over Steiner. Jericho over Rey Mysterio was your main event. 2001 in Quebec, Canada. Montreal, Quebec, Canada. What a massive show this was. I won't go over everything, but I'll go over the important stuff, like Unexpected Excellence, which were
Owen Hart and Raven.
Owen Hart and Raven. Monty Brown defeating Ahmed and Big Daddy V. I think Chuck Palumbo won Tough Enough right there over Mike Sanders. And the Perry Saturn winning the television championship.
Kid Cash tried to get into the building.
Kid Cash, then a loss to Steven Regal. We saw the Hardys win the Cruiserweight tag titles. Lodi won the Cruiserweight Championship over Juventud Guerrero. Wow, Lodi's got a one-on-one victory over Juvi.
That's Starrcade, no less.
Yeah. Goldberg won the Money in the Bank. Benoit over Eddie Guerrero. We saw... Eddie Guerrero. Suzuki beat the World War III winner Chase Tatum. Jericho over Sting, and Brett over Shawn Michaels in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And then last year, Chad.
Yes, last year,
Juventud Guerrero won the Cruiserweight, or the Money in the Bank for the Thunder side. Chris Candido beat Sting to win the television championship. Great Khali Holly won the Tough Enough right there. Beth Phoenix.
A year later, he's finally getting his title match.
Yeah, crazy. Beth Phoenix won the Women's Money in the Bank championship. Taz beat Matt Hardy. Toyota over
Could have walked into this year's Starrcade champion, but alas.
Yeah. Toyota over Nora Greenwald to retain the belt. Bobby Roode beat Minoru Suzuki. The Harris twins won the titles. RVD won Money in the Bank. Big Daddy V and Team Big Show beat Team Shaq. Team Shaq didn't win. I always, in my mind, thought Shaq won.
I always remember them winning too, but I guess not.
Lodi defeated Homicide, Truth, Cabana, Slasher, and James Gibson to retain the 24/7 belt. Relic and the Wicked get the tag titles, trios titles. Oh, Jesus, yep. AJ over Kidman and Kidman's send-off match. Ray over Shawn, CM Punk and Shelton Benjamin. Charlie Haas defeat Hogan, Nash, and Hall. And the main event was Rock and Goldberg. It's crazy that Rock and Goldberg are still in your main event.
It's crazy. And AJ Styles and Billy Kidman, they have wrestled what, two Starrcades together now?
Yep,
Because they had AJ Styles Kidman for the Cruiserweight belt too.
that is true. They're not wrestling tonight, so
Not wrestling tonight
they're
though.
gonna keep it too. Starcade night number
Rocky
two.
Goldberg, both world champions at this point in time.
Yeah. Yeah, the main event of last year's Starcade are still the main events of this year's Starcade. It's like WWE now. Roman Brock every night. Here we go. Chad, Starcade night 2. Are you ready?
Oh, I am. Here, let me take one more sip of my coffee, and then I'll be ready.
All right. Oh yeah, this place it was supposed to be
Let's go.
it was supposed to be in Mid Atlantic. That's why. Okay. Mmm. Mmm. Ah.
Sorry.
Whoa. A shorter show tonight.
As we have our pre-show panel, Dave Meltzer, James Storm, the hometown hero, Medusa, and of course, four men who walked away with belts or retained belts, depending on who you are. Johnny Swinger, the ESPN champion. Mick Foley, your United States heavyweight champion. And of course, the Nitro tag team champions. The big guns are here, and they are here to discuss what matches they are looking forward to the most. James Storm will tell you that, he's rooting for his good buddy Bobby Roode in the men's Money in the Bank match. Johnny Swinger will tell you, you know what? I gotta be rooting for my man Joey Mercury, one of the other Thunder singles guys out there, of course, besides that prick The Rock. Mick Foley says, speaking of The Rock, me and The Rock have quite a relationship, and me and CM Punk, I got a lot of respect for CM Punk. I'm excited to see that Universal Championship match, and of course Mick Foley and Big Show and Billy, they say, you know what, we're excited to see what the world's greatest tag team, the tag team champions on the Thunder side, we're excited to see what they can do tonight. We've got that and much, much more tonight on Starrcade Night 2.
Much, much more. But where is Nick Dinsmore on the pre-show panel, Chad? What the hell?
Well, I tell you, Nick Dinsmore is booked in a match
What
tonight.
the? Oh shit! Oh shit! You have 2,000 more people here tonight in night 2 in the arena than you did have in night 1. A big crowd of 136,000 people this weekend here at Starrcade. A massive, massive attendance. That's like AEW's whole year.
No. You multiplied it.
There we go. Here's a opening match.
All right. We have our opening pre-show contest: Dos Caras Jr. versus Amazing Red versus Evan Bourne versus Low Key versus Disco Fury. Just to give the crowd here tonight a little action from our high flying cruiserweight division, and a pre-show about that decent wrestling but nonsense crowd heat. Dos Caras Jr. defeated Amazing Red, Evan Bourne, Low Key, Disco Fury in 15-12. When Dos Caras Jr. pinned Amazing Red with a side suplex, and you're skipping to Road Agent Notes, which leads me to believe something has gone awry.
Yeah, something has gone awry, Chad. 2 things. Amazing Red, as a man, you said, I'm going to start pushing. Lost in the pre-show. Massive. Number 2, who do you not want to get injured in this match?
I don't really want anyone to get injured in this match.
Oh, you would be correct. That would be Disco Fury, damaging his neck. I wonder if someone dropped it on him. Let's find out. No one dropped him on his neck.
Can you take me higher? The Creed song, Take Me Higher by Creed, is the background music as we show our Starrcade Night 2 video package, of course. The People's Champ, The Rock, the head of the table of the People's family. He has been on a run ever since coming here. The only reason why he lost the Universal Champion the first time was due to injury. No man has been able to defeat The Rock. No man has been able to pin The Rock since he's been to WCW. One man has had The Rock's number, though. In his one loss, it was a 6-man tag, but the only man who has looked to have been close to a threat, CM Punk. CM Punk said The Rock may call himself the People's Champ, but he is the voice of the voiceless. He is the man who will defeat The Rock because The Rock's arms are just not long enough to box with God, he says. He says CM Punk, You think you can beat The Rock? The Rock says that CM Punk is gonna be like everybody else who's tried to stand in the way of the People's Champ. They've gotten their ass kicked by the head of the table, by the leader of the People's Family, the People's Champ, The Rock. Tonight we also have AJ Styles versus Bret Hart. AJ Styles cost Bret Hart an opportunity at a one-on-one match against The Rock at Starrcade. He's been angry. He's been bitter. Bret Hart has said he hasn't been worthy of being a locker room leader and that he isn't a main eventer. AJ Styles says, you know what, I'll prove it against you tonight. And we've got Juventud, the only man to have cashed in unsuccessfully in a Money in the Bank. He will be in the Money in the Bank match tonight, as well as Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, and as Big Show and Billy Gunn have mentioned in the pre-show, we've got Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin defending their tag team championships against Sema and Aguila, but much, much more tonight. Can you take me higher?
Let's get into the show. We open with a something.
We open, of course, with a 25-man battle royal and a decent match. A bunkhouse stampede match, of course. And Gangrel won the bunkhouse stampede. The other members of the Final Four were Kendo Kashin, James Gibson, who is not supposed to be in that, but I booked him on accident, and Great Sasuke. Kendo Kashin being the final elimination, and Great Sasuke got the most eliminations over the course of the match.
I mean, James Gibson getting a Final Four appearance, not even supposed to be in the match. Was he on both nights of Starrcade? Get fucked, everybody else.
A street fight and a battle royal.
Owen Hart, not even in the Final Four. Well, Achilles wasn't in a match last night, as he was not in that street fight. To be honest, he was in a car. Yeah, that's a Gangrel. Yeah. Well, Gangrel also, right? Gangrel wrestled last night. Gangrel wrestled last night as well.
He was in a 4-on-4, yeah.
Damn, you're double poking people. Damn. Get fucked, everybody else who wasn't on the card.
And that leads us to our second match of the night, the men's Money in the Bank. We had the Michaels, Perry Saturn, Fit Finley, Canyon, Juventud Guerrera, Bobby Roode, Psychosis, and the man who replaced the injured James Storm, Chris Candido. One of these men is going to win a Money in the Bank briefcase, guaranteeing them a world championship match whenever they want. Juventud Guerrera has won this match before, unsuccessful at the cash-in. Will he become a two-time Money in the Bank winner, or will somebody else win those prestigious briefcase? Justin, what do you got?
Oh, this is a classic match of a match where it could really elevate and make a superstar. Now, logistically, I think there are only 3 people I think could win this match, and I only think one's going to. Hear me out. Hear me out on this one, all right? Candido's not going to win. I don't even need an explanation on that. He's not going to win. Who he's not going to win? Doing two straight Money in the Banks, just don't think it's logical. Finley and Canyon are going to kill each other. It's just going to happen. Whether you like it, whether the fans like it, these two guys don't like each other. They've been feuding for months. They're going to kill each other. Psychosis is numero uno of guys who I think could win. Psychosis, a former world champion in both companies, former multiple-time world champion here in WCW, a name, a legendary name in this save. Chef Psychosis will go down in infamy as one of the greatest characters of all time. I think he has a shot. Bobby Roode, I think, doesn't have a shot. And want to know why? I think James Storm getting hurt is the reason why Bobby Roode does not win. And it's a weird...
He's not in the game. He's worried about his friend.
Yeah. Perry Saturn is number 2 of guys that could win. Perry Saturn, a very consistent worker, came back from WWE back to WCW and has really worked his ass off to get off the drugs, get off everything, and has proven to yourself and the people watching at home that he is a great hand and he's a great worker. We saw it in the playoffs where he went 8-0-1. What better opportunity now to reward him with the Money in the Bank? And number 1, I think the guy who's going to win it, Shawn Michaels. He's the greatest of all time. He's the Heartbreak Kid. I mean,
Well, this match had everything you would expect from a Money in the Bank ladder match, especially with people of this caliber. You know, Shawn Michaels proved why he is Mr. Starrcade. He did a moonsault off of a ladder at one point and was just delivering sweet chin musics to everybody. Fit Finlay brought a shillelagh into the match, and wouldn't you know, it went right after Canyon, like you said. They were brawling all over the place. In fact, it spilled out into the crowd, and we didn't see them for most of the match. Perry Saturn, of course, you said it, Justin. He proved why he had such a run in the playoffs. Chris Candido also did things. Juventud and Psychosis, they were able to use, the numbers game a little bit here. They're doing some good old tag team wrestling. Psychosis had a pancake leg drop off of a ladder in his as well in his own right. Juventud Guerrera, had something to prove tonight. He was really trying to win that briefcase for a second time. And of course, Bobby Roode, he came out wearing a James Storm t-shirt, and he wore it while he was wrestling. The man was fighting for a cause, and this match had high spots everywhere, and towards the end of the match, we saw Shawn Michaels and come within inches, only to be stopped by Perry Saturn. We saw Psychosis climbing up the ring at the same time as Juventud, and the two stared at each other, and Juventud looked at Psychosis and Psychosis looked at him, and they both, and then they started fighting each other, because even though they're friends, this is Starrcade, and the crowd was going nuts until that bastard Chris Candido came out and tipped the ladder over. Chris Candido, he's staring in the ring. Shawn Michaels and Perry Saturn, they took each other out. Fit Finlay and Canyon, they took each other out. Juventud and Psychosis, they took each other. They got taken out by Chris Candido. Chris Candido, he grabs the ladder, he plants it, and he climbs all the way up. And he's going for it, and he's fingertips away. But as that's happening, all of a sudden from the other side, from outside of the ring, he rolls back in, races back up, and Bobby Roode clotheslines Chris Candido off of the ladder, and they spill out just as we see Juventud Guerrera climbs back into the ring. And while that's happening, Fit Finlay and Canyon, they crawl back in the ring. Psychosis gets into the ring. The four men, they're squaring off. Shawn Michaels gets back in the ring. Perry Saturn's in the ring. Bobby Roode, he gets back in. Chris Candido eventually fouls in. They're all back in the ring, and they all brawl. There's fighting and bodies everywhere. In the chaos, we saw Canyon sit on a ladder on the outside that's wedged in from the announce table into the ring. He's laying down there, and it looks like he's taken out. Fit Finley's climbing up the ladder, and he looks, there's no one around him. All he has to do is unclip the briefcase, and out of the corner of his eye, he looks over, and he sees Canyon laying there. Fit Finlay, he had his United States Championship taken from him in a ladder match because he dove off a ladder to save his friend Canyon from being attacked. And Fit Finlay, he sees, maybe it wasn't smart, but he couldn't let go of getting a little payback. So as he sees Chris Canyon laying there on the ladder, he jumps off just like he did last time. But Chris Canyon, he looks up, smirks, and rolls out of the way as Fit Finlay elbow drops a ladder. You have to imagine he's taken out, and Chris Canyon then rolls into the ring during all the chaos, climbs the ladder, and Justin, your winner of the men's Money in the Bank, Canyon.
oh, that's something I didn't think I would see. Damn. Surprise pick right there. Canyon.
Canyon said before he got hurt that he had one goal and one goal only, and it was to win the world championship. So this was just part of that job. But yeah, Chris Canyon. I made it dual branded this year, so I'm gonna just make one briefcase. But yeah, Canyon wins Money in the Bank. This is Mr. Money in the Bank.
Mr. Money in the Bank Canyon. R.I.P.
I
Finley.
was going back and forth between Canyon and Saturn, literally every time I would book this match, I was going back and forth between them. But I give it to Canyon.
How many times have you booked that match? Joking.
How many? Well, I've only booked it once, but in my head when I'm booking it on paper. And we move on to our next match. Matt Hardy, who of course after his brother Jeff Hardy left him high and dry in WCW, Matt Hardy has been trying to rebuild his image and rebuild the Hardy name, and he won a number one contenders match for the Cruiserweight title. And he said, "You know what? The last time I was Cruiserweight champion, I took the shortcuts. I took the coward's way out. I cheated, and I need to prove that that I'm better than that. And that's why, Joey Mercury, I'm going to give you a hard-hitting, straight-up contest, and I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to become the Cruiserweight champion once again." And Joey Mercury says, "Matt Hardy, that is a lovely dream to have, but unfortunately, it's just that, a dream, because I won this belt, and I'm not ready to give it up yet." We got Joey Mercury. We got Matt Hardy for the Cruiserweight Championship. Justin, who do you got?
Joey Mercury, please. One hot slice of Joey Mercury, please. Thank you.
Interesting. Well, and about that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Joey Mercury defeats Matt Hardy by submission and makes defense number 2 of the Cruiserweight title.
That's all I wanted. Get Matt Hardy off my TV, please. Get him off my TV. Oh my God, here we go.
Rey Mysterio comes out. He says, "Did you like my performance?"
No.
Well, guess what? It's time for an encore. Can you take me higher? I wish I could wrestle in Money in the Bank.
Why are they booing Rey Mysterio?
They're not booing. They love Rey Mysterio.
Boo.
There's only Justin's booing, but everybody else is wooing. And as that is happening, as Creed's wrapping up, we see Scott Steiner, Booker T, and Ace Steel. They come down the ring. Scott Steiner, of course, put the challenge to the Barry. It's personal, and we want what's on the line. Scott Steiner, Booker T, Ace Steel versus TJ Wilson, York, and the Great Khali. Justin, what do you got?
Chad, if you put Scott Steiner over last night just to not put him over tonight, if I swear to God, if those rotten pieces of shit, the Great Khali, TJ York, and fucking Wilson, or whatever his name is, if they win, I'm going to send you an email. It's going to be so filled with disgusting words and rotten terminology that you're going to have to call in sick. I want these guys to win. No matter how much I hate the pairing of Ace Steel with these two, I want them to win.
That's fair. I understand.
Fuck!
In a decent match, the Buried defeat the Eaton Empire when TJ Wilson pinned Booker T, illegally using the ropes for leverage. TJ Wilson, York, and the Great Khali win the WCW Trios titles.
Those pieces of shit. Yeah, Great Khali was the weak link. Yeah, of course he was, brother. He's green as grass. Get him out of the ring. Great Khalil.
The Great Khalil. And Justin, don't adjust your television sets. That is indeed Eric Bischoff. And Eric Bischoff, he's in the ring because, Justin, we're inducting the second member of the WCW Hall of Fame. And there would be no WCW without Eric Bischoff. You know, he may not be the authority figure of WCW anymore, but back in the day, he was the man behind the magic. And we see Eric Bischoff, he's in the ring with his best friend Hollywood Hogan in the NWO. And Hollywood Hogan is going, "Now, brother, last year when the NWO got inducted, I remember telling everybody that we were not completely inducted yet. We were missing one member. We were missing one member of the NWO. And brother, it's Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff is not only my best friend, but also a creative genius, brother. And he made Hollywood Hogan, and he made the NWO. The Harris twins, Sable, they wouldn't be standing here with Hollywood Hogan if it wasn't for Eric Bischoff. So why don't all you maniacs give this Hall of Fame inductee a big round of applause, brother? And while they're all celebrating in the ring, the fake NWO come out, Horace Hogan, fake Hall, and fake Nash. And they say, no one gives a damn about that old, washed-up Eric Bischoff. It's one thing that we had to sit through the real Eric Bischoff, and you three aren't even the real NWO. We are. And Justin, Hollywood Hogan, he's heard enough. They start fighting, and we have an impromptu match right here, right now. The NWO versus the fake NWO.
Give me Eric Bischoff. Give me him the win. Eric Bischoff gets the win, please. Oh,
Well, in a decent match, the
oh no.
NWO,
Oh no.
Hollywood Hogan, and Horace Hogan with a big leg drop.
Oh my god. No. Oh, no. Ron Harris fake Nash outperforming Hollywood Hogan. Oh no. All right, Jed's Wi-Fi. I think the network's the Wi-Fi is kind of going in and out. I'm watching it go in and out on Discord. No, I can hear you right now. I'm just watching it go in and out on Discord a little bit. So apologies to the recording session. If Chad gets all roboty, we carry on though.
Yes. What would it be if I didn't get robotic in one? And then Hollywood Hogan and Eric Bischoff, they celebrate with the fans. Eric Bischoff, the second inductee into the WCW Hall of Fame. Well, the second inductee in 2003 into the WCW Hall of Fame. Justin, what do you think of Eric Bischoff going in the Hall of Fame?
Would you? I mean, probably well deserved. I mean, he was the owner or whatever. He was the big head honcho that really elevated WCW in real life to the megastar status that it was. Is also probably the reason it died at the same time. So, but in this save, you know, he was a main utilized piece in the beginning, and when he left, it left a wide open door. But he wasn't, you know, WCW. It would not be the same today in this save or in real life.
Better than he found it.
He did leave it better than he found it, and the save wouldn't be the WCW wouldn't be the same without Eric Bischoff. I mean, one of the first Starrcades in the save I was rewatching, 1997. Eric Bischoff, Larry Sabisco, one-on-one match. I mean,
Yeah,
say less, say fucking less at that point.
He won, didn't he? Or did Zabisco win?
Eric Bischoff won.
He's undefeated in Starrcade.
I don't know if he's ever wrestled again, so I can't. I don't know the '98 card off the top of my head. But yeah, regardless, Eric Bischoff, a good Hall of Famer.
And we head to our Thunder Tag Team Championship match. Cena and Aguila taking on Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. The world's greatest tag team taking on the Quick City Kingpins. Justin, the Quick City Kingpins, you know, they won a number one contenders match. You were right, it was against the Buried. Or no, it was against it was against the Buried in a number one contenders match. They won. And you know, they have something to prove tonight. You know, they are two of our established tag teams in this division. And Cena and Aguila have both had a little success in their own rights. They've had some big wins here and there, but as a tag team, they've yet to capture gold, and they're looking to do that against the world's greatest tag team, who have recaptured their tag team championships and have looking to pick up where they left off. Justin, we got the Kingpins versus the world's greatest tag team. Who do you got?
Man, I'm gonna go with world's greatest tag teams, but I think eventually maybe next year's Starrcade. By next year's Starrcade, I could see Cena and Aguila being world champions. It's hard to think of another title flop this early with the another run of Haas and Benjamin. So I'm gonna go with Haas and Benjamin. They're the more decorated tag team, the more experienced tag team, and I'm gonna go with them.
Yes. And about that had good wrestling enthusiasm from the crowd. The world's greatest tag team defeated the Quick City Kingpins in 1955 when Shelton Benjamin pinned Aguila with a magic carpet ride. A whole new world. World's greatest tag team makes defense number one of the WCW Thunder Tag Team titles.
Yeah, it probably was a great match. I mean, Cena is an unbelievable talent, an 87 in ring, but like I said, it's just their win losses all over the place this year. They just really haven't had that momentum, that elevated success that is usually needed to take down a team of the caliber of the world's greatest tag team. No pun intended. So this year, great performance, a single tag team match for under the belt at a Starrcade for Quick City Kingpins. Maybe next year they'll be champions going into Starrcade. Who knows? I think the sky is the limit for these two.
Yeah, I think the future of the tag division is bright. And speaking of, well, I mean, there's too hot and too cold as a tag team division here that looking bright. We've got ourselves a big fight feel coming up because you see Rikishi was outcast by the People's Family. The Rock kicked him aside, shunned him, and sent Umaga to finish the job. And anytime Rikishi has been trying to get his hands on the Rock, Umaga has stood in his way. And finally, we get Rikishi versus Umaga. Rikishi has an opportunity to get some payback, but Umaga has been an absolute bulldozer since the Rock has changed Ekmo Fatu to Umaga. They're going to go at it tonight. We see here Rikishi coming down to the ring with his friends, Too Cold Scorpio and Scotty Too Hottie, Too Hot and Too Cold. They're coming down to the ring. Justin, if we move to the next segment, we see here that Umaga, who is no, you're good. Umaga, who is flanked by the People's Family, come down to the ring. We got Umaga versus Rikishi. Next, Justin, who do you got?
Man, you've done Rikishi dirty ever since joining the WCW. I think that little streak continues, brother. Umaga gets the win.
And in a decent match, it was fans bring the weapons too, because Rikishi said, if my
What the
family
hell?
doesn't have my back, he says, if my own family turns their backs on me, then my new family will have my back. And they're going to bring weapons. And those fans bring the weapons. But in a decent match, they didn't bring enough weapons because Umaga defeats Rikishi with a wild Samoan drop.
2 years ago at 2 years ago at SummerSlam, Rikishi was the first man to pin Brock Lesnar. And tonight, his own family can't even bring enough weapons in the match that he challenged Umaga to. Unbelievable fall from grace for poor Rikishi. R.I.P.
R.I.P. As we move on to our co-main event, we've got AJ Styles versus Bret Hart. AJ Styles, of course, was furious, said it was a travesty that he was not in the playoff bracket, and blamed everybody else except for himself. And Bret Hart called him on it. He said, a locker room leader, a real leader, hell, a man takes accountability for his actions. He's able to own his mistakes and use them to get better. And you, AJ Styles, are the definition of a man who does not take accountability. It's always the pity party for AJ Styles. And that's why you've never held the Universal Championship ever again. Because you don't have what it takes. Because you are not made with the same type of blood that Bret Hart is. The type of locker room leader that a guy like Bret Hart, that a guy like CM Punk is. AJ, you may call yourself phenomenal, but you haven't earned that moniker. And until you do, you'll never be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And AJ Styles, he definitely did not forget that criticism, because when Bret Hart took on CM Punk for an opportunity at the Rocket Starrcade, AJ Styles cost him the match and has been a thorn in Bret Hart's side ever since. And finally, the match was made official. AJ Styles versus Bret Hart at Starrcade. Justin, who do you got?
This is a battle. Oh, man, who do I have in this match? Man, I could see it going either way. This could be the defining Starrcade victory for AJ Styles, or this could be the cake, or the icing on the cake of a legendary career of Bret Hart. Man, I'm going to go with AJ Styles, but I'm pulling for Bret Hart, Chad. I'm pulling for Bret.
Nice. Well,
wow.
Let's move on to the next segment. You'll see it went 29 minutes and 36 seconds. And in about that superb wrestling and great heat, Bret Hart defeats AJ Styles by submission with a sharp shooter. Listen, AJ Styles, he took Bret Hart to the distance. And there were many times where it looked like he was putting him away. AJ Styles hit a phenomenal forearm. He hit a Pele kick. The story of this match, though, every time he'd go for the Styles Clash, Bret Hart was able to counter it. And one time, he countered a Styles Clash into that sharpshooter, which he used to put away AJ Styles. Bret Hart, victorious at Starrcade.
AJ Styles just can't get it done, brother. He just can't get it done. The winner, Bret Hart.
Bret Hart celebrates in the fan with the fans. And we see here our main event, The Rock with the Universal Championship, otherwise known as he proclaims it the People's Championship. He's flanked by the People's Family, The Rock, or sorry, Umaga, Mang, Barbarian, and Chemo. Umaga was victorious tonight. Will The Rock follow suit? I'll tell you what, he probably will be. The Rock has been victorious in almost every single match he's been on in WCW, taking on the likes of Juventud, Psychosis, Bret Hart, CM Punk. Man, the list goes on and on. I mean, if you name them, he's beaten them. He's been on an absolute run since coming to WCW, and tonight he has the man who people have said will be the man to defeat The Rock. He has a chance to finally shut those people up. Will he do it? Will The Rock defeat his challenger tonight as he makes his way to the ring? CM Punk. Now, CM Punk, he comes down to the ring, and, at first he comes out alone, but as he is there, you see Rikishi following behind him. You see the world's greatest tag team, a team that has also went to battle in CM Punk's corner against The Rock. And, of course, the man who has put CM Punk over both professionally, verbally, in the ring, backstage, his biggest fan, Bret Hart, who just wrestled a half an hour against AJ, but still comes down to the ring to have CM Punk's back. As CM Punk heads to the ring, we've got CM Punk, we got The Rock, the Universal Championship on the line. Our main event of Starrcade Night 2. Justin, who do you got?
God, going into this, I thought, look, he didn't pull the trigger on it back in June or July, whenever this match first happened. I think you've been sitting on a barrel of regret ever since, because that was the hottest Punk has ever been back in the day. And I kept thinking for the last 6 months, knowing that this was probably going to main event Starrcade and this was going to be the match, and you were going to finally pull the trigger. I think in the last 5 minutes, I'm on the Rock side now. I don't think this ends with a happy story. I think CM Punk, with all these jabronis coming out with him, I think The Rock gets it done one more time. I think The Rock retains here, Chad.
Nice. Well, these two put on a clinic. CM Punk versus The Rock. It had a big fight feel to it. The two of them went back and forth. The Rock, he hit a rock bottom. He hit a people's elbow. CM Punk put Rock in the Anaconda Vice. CM Punk hit him with a Pepsi plunge. They pulled out all the stops. The match spewed out to the ringside. It spewed out into the crowd. Not for too long, though, because you don't want to get counted out. They fought all over the place. Anytime one of The Rock's family members was going to get involved, one of CM Punk's posse, that I've called them just for this match, got in to have Punk's back. Justin, as we move on to the next segment, we will see the outcome of that match. And about to have unbelievable heat and superb wrestling, CM Punk defeated The Rock in 30-30 with an arm triangle choke. CM Punk wins the WCW Universal title.
He got the job done. CM Punk has defeated the big guy, The Rock, for the Universal Championship. Starrcade ends with everyone going home happy. CM Punk is your champion, and the man that finally dethroned The Rock.
Universal champion.
That probably beats Armageddon. You're probably, what do you think, 98, 99?
I would say hopefully a 99 would be sick.
I think a 97.
Let's find out.
Yeah, 97.
97? Wow, got it.
Nothing else on the show was that ideal for you, but yeah. So I think that kind of warned it. Or what's the word I'm looking for?
Bret Hart. It was only 2 matches, but Bret Hart, AJ, CM Punk, Rock, the men's Money in the Bank match. Banged. Nothing
really was like 90 or above though. That's a tough spot. If for trying to get show of the year, 2 99s and that's it is not going to do it, but it's still the best show of the night. Wait, what did Armageddon get? We'll have to find out because that's up next, isn't it? I don't remember. Starrcade, though, still.
No, we haven't ran it yet.
Starrcade, I mean, this is the absolute.
What'd you think of the Starrcade weekend, Justin?
An unbelievable show, Chad. I was really worried for you. You never know what you never know what you're gonna do with Starrcade. I think you can talk on that. You continuously change the card until you end up booking it. So it's always like what's he gonna do kind of thing for me watching and waiting. But this what it turned out for what happened on the go home from RVD fucking doing the dirty to Ray dying to James Storm
all
dying.
three of the Money in the Bank winners, like Hoovy failed his cash in, but like RVD and Beth won their cash in. Both did drugs and then
Yeah.
one's suspended and one's fired. But
Yeah, I mean, it was you did the best you could, and I think you knocked it out of the park this year. This was an unbelievable Starrcade, and The Rock, CM Punk. I mean, what a story run! What a storied run for The Rock. And this is the start of CM Punk. This is the future of wrestling right here. CM Punk is your new Universal Champion. Oh, that's it, Chad.
but Justin, we're not done yet.
We're not done
We're
yet.
not done yet, Justin. Because we got
Armageddon.
the Year Awards coming up.
No, because Armageddon's coming up next.
Oh,
We'll see
we
you
got
then.
Armageddon, of course. We got Armageddon, which listen. Chad Collier is there, I think. That's what you mentioned. We'll have to see.
We'll see you for Armageddon. We'll see you for the year-end rewards. Let's see if Chad can make it through this year. If he doesn't, I'm still gonna do him, even if he goes to bed. I don't care. That's my favorite.
I've got half a mug of coffee still.
We'll see you there at Armageddon.
And after such an incredible 2-night extravaganza, we are here with Armageddon.
Armageddon. We are live.
Justin, what did you think of Starrcade?
It was great. I loved, and he beat. That was my favorite. We're recording pull the curtain back. We're recording this one and then Starrcade. So Starrcade should be the lead-in. That's the big show. It's the WrestleMania of WCW, Chad.
It's a 2-night extravaganza.
All roads lead to Starrcade, Chad, and all the roads have they've had their bumps, they've had their bruises, but
oh yeah.
Okay, you keep talking. I'm gonna pile drive this cat.
Oh man.
For legal purposes, that's not true.
Our roommate's cat is running amok, a terror even, being a rapscallion, a hooligan. Some tomfoolery is coming on with this cat, and quite frankly, I won't take it anymore, and neither should Justin.
We are all good. What'd you say?
I was just stalling. I said I was just making fun of Kaiba.
I put up a fight, but I did do the job. Kaiba got the win. 1, 2, 3. Armageddon is always a pay-per-view that really takes a back seat to WCW Starrcade, but it's always fun to try to beat it. In 1999, I think we did. I'm out of breath. Am I okay? Am I dying? Mark, I don't know. I guess
should have made that match a slow build, Justin.
Yeah. On the pre-show of Armageddon, The Rock defeated Shane McMahon. On the pre-show.
That's crazy.
What the fuck was I doing? Jeff Jarrett defeated Mark Mero, Edge over Mystico. That's a pre-show match? That's crazy. Mark Henry over Taz, DX over the Legion of Doom 99. Kane and Taker defend their belts against the Ass Men, Ace Steel against Christian Cage, Booker T, PJ Black, Kurt Angle, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Eddie Guerrero over Ken Shamrock. Last year, it was a dual main event in my eyes, as Christian Cage got a championship match against The Rock for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship, and Eddie Guerrero defeated Paul White to win the WWF Championship. Any other weird one that's on the card? No. Bangin' Barbarian got a title shot.
Oh yeah, good for them.
What are they up to, brother? I was at the Palace of Auburn Hills, 2001. One of the best shows of all time. I think that was the show of the year. I think the game said, or maybe co-show.
Yeah, B pay-per-view winning show of the year is crazy.
Not my fault, brother. It's a B-rated pay-per-view now because Latin Lover defeated Booker T. We had Rene Dupree over Gangrel. Jamie Noble retained his light heavyweight championship. Masawa's first big pay. It was not his. Yeah, I think it was Masawa's first match. defeated Scott Steiner. La Resistance defeated Kane and Gene Snitsky to win the tag team championships. Rock and Paul White went one-on-one. John Cena defeated Jeff Jarrett to retain the U.S. title in a 100. And Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated Mick Foley. And last year, I guess we ran Minnesota 2 years in a row. We're not doing it this year. We are live in Charleston, West Virginia. Last year, holy shit, this was a big show. EC3 made his debut. EC3. He defeated Nunzio. We had Undertaker over Brian Kendrick. The winner got the chip. So Undertaker came out number 30 in the Royal Rumble. Mystico defeated El Hijo del Santo. The Bloodline. Rhino, Kishi, and Ekmo Fatu defeating La Resistance, Chad.
Listen, that feud, the former Bloodline members now feuding Samoans. You know, I don't. It's no love lost there.
Chad Collier defeated Matt McFoley. C.W. Anderson over Kane. Wow, what a. The Family defeating Double J Records. Jeff Jarrett.
Piece of shit he is.
Who?
Kane.
Oh, why? What the fuck? Why? Why is he a piece of shit?
Oh, look, listen. I
Dude.
don't like him.
Whoa. Okay. Well, Chad, you know, get it.
Throw you off your rhythm, Justin.
Sorry. Ric Flair defeated Latin Lover. Johnny Storm defeating Kid Cash, Too Cold Scorpio, and Jenna Moore to retain his light heavyweight championship. And the main event was Masawa retaining the WWE Championship over Don Fry. But tonight, no WWE World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Triple H will not be defending it tonight because the main event is a hardcore, no holds barred Extreme Rules match. Shinya Hashimoto will take on the man that's been tormenting him verbally, Christian Cage. Christian Cage cost Hashimoto a chance at the WWE Championship, which was vacated by his best friend Masawa at Survivor Series. Christian Cage and Hashimoto go one-on-one. We also see a three-way for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. It's a TLC match. La Resistance, Sylvain Grenier and Ram Kamwe defend their belts against the Bubble Ray Dudley boys of Bubble Ray Dudley and Tifa. Why did I say it like that? And the Thunder Dragons of Jushin Thunder Liger and Bryan Danielson. And Chris Jericho will take on Chad Collier. Those are our three big matches. Let's get into the show tonight, Chad. Let's start off with the Jabulowskis taking on Justin Credible and Ruckus. I did a lot of rearranging of pictures on my show. Unless they're in a stable where they have the little gimmick where it says what stable they're in, I'm back to full screen pictures. I think they look
nice, cool.
They look better. One day I'll go through yours. It just took fucking forever, and I just
I'll do it before Starrcade. I'll just quickly do it. There's not many people on my roster that don't have pictures. I'll find them.
No, it's these ones, the big long ones, the big full screen ones. Yeah. That will take like 30 minutes to do. I do every one.
Okay, maybe we won't then.
Yeah, we'll do it. I'll do it post Starrcade. I'll handle it tonight or something. The Jabulowskis, though, they get the win over Justin Credible and Ruckus in 7:46. The Patriarchy, I think every single one of them are in action tonight, and the Jabulowskis get the win. Dean, though, sustained a dislocated jaw. Ruckus and Justin Credible looked good out there. Justin Credible, 63. Is he still good?
You know,
is he still good?
Remember when he got like super popular because he like saved a cat from like a tree or something?
Yeah.
I give him a push.
Oh, I thought you were going with something. You didn't even give him a push after that, brother.
I pushed him for like 2 weeks.
Yes, thank you, Terry Taylor. Our other
Oh, Drago. That's a sick looking picture of Drago. Sorry. I don't know a lot of these pictures are coming, so they're gonna surprise me. So sorry for my in the moment reaction.
No, you're good. You're good. Jerry Lawler Jr. though defeats Drago in 11:40 on the pre-show with a Tennessee Jam. Drago's first match post injury. I think he had a bruised shoulder, broken back, something like that. He hasn't been in full form in the last 6 to 7 months, but he's in action tonight. Drago could be a mainstay star. He's got a new look to him.
Yeah, he looks sick.
Let's move
like
on.
Darth Maul.
He looks like Darth Vader, right? That's the guy?
Darth Maul is the guy I think you're thinking of. He's the guy with like the red and black face.
Darth Vader?
Darth Vader has the black mask.
Chad, this is your big promo for tonight. Good luck beating this, Chad, because we got the main event talent here, like Danny Basham. He's taking on C.W. Anderson in a match where there's a lot of personal animosity in between those two because over the last probably 8 weeks ago, Danny Basham's brother, his longtime tag team partner Doug Basham, was diagnosed with a severe career-threatening illness, and he's been out of action. He hasn't really been on the road since then. C.W. Anderson and Dean Malenko said, wah, wah, oh, I'm sick, wah, wah. And they kind of took it too far to the point if they did that today, they'd be hashtag canceled. So, look, Danny Basham's got to do it for his brother. He's got to do it for the boys back home, Doug Basham. He's going to take on the schoolyard bully, C.W. Anderson. Chris Jericho and Chet Collier. Look, these guys were friends, and then they weren't, and then Jericho started taking Chet Collier to therapy, and then Chet Collier did the Uno reverse card, and then Jericho woke up out of a slumber and was in therapy, but it was like the Joker doing therapy on him. It was like, I don't even know. And then Sylvain Grenier and Rob Conway, your SmackDown Tag Team Champions, they are going to take on the Dudleys and the Thunder Dragons in a TLC match later tonight. But we start off, though, Chad, with the Puerto Rico street fight for the light heavyweight championship.
Hell yeah.
The two princes of Puerto Rico, EC3 and Carly Colon, made
the royal family.
Oh, yes, the royal family. Wrestling.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Adrenaline!
We did it at the same time. Something, Carly Colon.
I hate it here. The Colones.
Spit in your face, cause you're not cool.
Okay. The Colones, though. The Colones made their debut, or EC3 at least made his debut after jumping ship from being a masked man who would job every week to becoming the Prince of Puerto Rico, EC3. He was the pride of Puerto Rico, the Prince of Puerto Rico. The people loved him, and he made a statement in his first win at this very same pay-per-view 12 months ago. A few months ago, he beat Tajiri. I think it was in October for the light heavyweight championship. And Tajiri wanted a rematch. He asked Eric Bischoff and assistant GM Glenn Jacobs for it, and apparently they were given a piece of paper from the Puerto Rican government saying the Colones will only defend the championship on their home turf, Puerto Rico. So we are here live, Chad, in a pre-taped cinematic match, a Puerto Rico street fight for the light heavyweight championship between Edward Colon III and Tajiri. Chad, who do you got?
I've got Edward Colon III. You think the hometown hero's gonna lose? The prince is in the palace, and he's gonna lay the hammer down on Tajiri.
Chad, unfortunately, though, Tajiri didn't travel this far to come home empty-handed because he wins.
Oh, no.
The light heavyweight championship. The industry leader production value is added to the cinematic
cool.
style. Shout out the people in the back. Shout out to the set makers, the prop makers. We love you. Tajiri making EC3 tap out in the front yard of the palace in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So Tajiri, though, Chad, your new light heavyweight champion.
I mean, listen. Cruiserweight Classic competitor Tajiri.
Oh, that is correct. Cruiserweight Classic competitor. I think Tajiri.
Final four, if I imagine.
Final four, yes, that is.
He made the final, didn't he? Wasn't it him and
brother? That's
Super Crazy?
your show. I don't know.
It was Tajiri and Super Crazy.
It could have been Tajiri and Bret Hart if you wanted to call it that.
Oh, it's Tajiri and Super Crazy. That's pretty crazy.
Super
crazy, actually.
Shut the fuck up, Chad. The new Puerto Rican Prince. I didn't mean that. Puerto Rican Prince Tajiri is your new light heavyweight champion. We move backstage. Kurt Angle. What? What's so funny?
Why is Kane aged 40 years?
Brother, that's he. What do you mean? He's had a mask
I
on
guess
his whole
I
career.
guess we would.
You've
That's true.
never
He's had a
seen his
mascot.
face.
That's fair.
Triple H is trying to vouch for a title match with Kurt Angle, like he has said over the last few SmackDowns that Kurt Angle would. Triple H said he wants to defend his belt against his friend Kurt Angle, and Glenn Jacobs says, look, he's gonna. Triple H will defend that World Championship at the Royal Rumble in 4 or 5 weeks, but not against Kurt. Glenn Jacobs says he's just not A material. He's B plus material, Chad. He just says Kurt Angle doesn't have it. He's never won the big one. And Kane says, why give you another shot? Why give you a spot ahead of other people when you have shown that you can't win the big one?
True.
What the hell? And Triple H is offended, and he stands up for his friend. He said, Kurt Angle is one of the best damn wrestlers in the business, Glenn. Who the hell are you? We move on backstage. Gene Snitsky's coming out, Chad. Big Gene, the big ugly bastard. Snitsky has been on a roll. And what's so funny?
It's the big ugly bastard. I can just see that being a Snitsky shirt you could buy in like 2003.
It wasn't my fault. Remember when he kicked a baby fucking 30 yards? He gave me a good old...
He didn't brush his teeth?
That was his gimmick. That was when he was the big ugly bastard.
Yeah.
The big ugly bastard. B-U-B. Bub. The bub. Gene Snitsky. He comes
Put him with another ugly fucker in a tag team, and that's what they could be called. Bub. Big ugly bastards.
Gene Snitsky's been on an absolute tear. Some are saying the best streak in professional wrestling history. He's 17-0 over the last 3 months. 31. I have it written down. He's 31-0 since being called up from his old run back in the day. So that didn't count. We're erasing his run with Kane and Roadkill, or Silence as we used to call him. That's gone. That's out of the record books. We erased that, like Benoit on the WWE Network tapes. He's gone. Gene Snitsky, 31-0 since being recalled up. He was the 5th piece of the 5-on-5 Survivor Series matchup last month, and he was the pivotal piece as he destroyed everyone, and that kind of made BG James mad because BG James is a veteran, and he says, I can take on Big Gene Snitsky. You cost me that match at Survivor, as BG James was the final guy in that fatal 5-way match. Cost him that match, and I just think you're ugly. And Road Dogg starts making fun of him because he's a funny face guy, right? He's like, ha, oh, you didn't know? You're ugly. That's what he says to Big Gene Snitsky. And he gets mad, and Snitsky beats the shit out of him on the go home to SmackDown. So good.
Good.
Are you standing up for Snitsky?
Yeah, I'm a Snitsky stan. I'm a big ugly bastard too.
Chad, who do you got in this match, though? BG James or Gene Snitsky?
Got the big ugly bastard.
Chad, Gene Snitsky. It's the egoist Schwein. Whatever
it's a wild finisher.
He's got good star quality, Gene Snitsky does. Let's go.
Nice. That face just screams star.
Dude, nothing.
A horror movie star.
Nothing. Hey, whoa. You can't stand up for him.
He's the big ugly bastard. That's his gimmick. He's the big ugly bastard.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, Gene Snitsky, though, gets the win in 17-21 with the egoist Schwein. PG James, a good run, but he ran into a tough opponent in Gene Snitsky, who makes his record 32. And, Chris Daniels, though. Daniels is a weird fellow, Chad. Chris Daniels, former U.S. champion, former rat of WCW is what they called him, right? The rat of the syndicate.
Former cruiserweight champion. But yeah, he was the rat of the syndicate.
Yeah, former cruiserweight champion. Former light heavyweight. No, never light heavyweight champion. Former U.S. champion. He's on a weird little roll as of late. He's kind of been floundering. Jeff Jarrett, his former friend, not even a former friend, right? I guess he's still his friend. Jeff Jarrett just went to a different roster. Ever since Jarrett left, Chris Daniels has kind of just been floundering, just kind of wading around in the water, you could say. He's got wins here and there, but when it comes to pay-per-views, last month he lost. The month before he got an opportunity against Steven Richards, couldn't get the belt off of him. It just comes down to he just can't get it done right now, and whether that's he just doesn't have it in him or he just needs that guy like Jeff Jarrett around him, it's to be determined. But he is taking on a man that clobbered him at the Survivor Series match. They're calling him the Wrestling God, Chad. They're calling him John Bradshaw Layfield, the big muscle, the big brains, the big money behind the patriarchy. John Bradshaw Layfield. Him and Daniels over the last couple of weeks have kind of been button heads a little bit. Once again, JBL part of the winning team at Survivor Series, JBL being a part of the patriarchy who has kind of had their feet, their hands and toes in everyone's business, including BG James and Chris Daniels. So that has led to this match right here. Chris Daniels and John Bradshaw Layfield, the Wrestling God, Chad. It's JBL and Daniels. Who do you got?
I've got JBL.
Chad, the Wrestling God continues that good run. A 93. Good Lord, JBL's ready, brother. John Bradshaw Layfield was once the WWE Bust of the Year. Two-time Bust of the Year. He has finally blossomed, and it only took, let me check my notes, the Jabulowski twins to be by his side for it to happen. John Bradshaw is on an absolute tear. Give Chris Daniels a lot of credit. 20 minutes with John Bradshaw Layfield just couldn't put him away. Even hitting the best moonsault ever, but John Bradshaw Layfield kicked out at 2. Daniels went for it again and missed, landed on his feet, rolled out, and then turned around into the clothesline. What did John Bradshaw Layfield call his clothesline?
Clothesline from hell.
The clothesline from hell. That's what it was. Killed him. Daniels took like a Kishi bump where he does like a flip after. It was an unbelievable one.
One of my favorite finishers of all time.
The clothesline from hell.
I love the clothesline from hell. Whenever I would make my guy in like the WWE games, like back in the day, clothesline from hell was always my finisher.
Were you always a high flyer or a powerhouse? Because I was always a high flyer. I wanted the high octane moves.
I always made myself like a powerhouse that did backflips. I think I made a guy like that on one of your last 2K games.
Oh yeah, what was his name? Dalton
Ferguson.
Dalton Ferguson. When's he coming into the same?
The Lock. I just thought about it. Like,
you should play the new one. The new one's fun. The new story. Myrise, shout out Myrise. Shout out WWE 2K24, fix universe mode, hashtag please. JBL though defeats Chris Daniels in 2030. Backstage though, we see Triple H entering the general manager's office, Chad.
Nice. Wonder what he has to say.
I don't know, but Undertaker helped Kane in this segment. You gotta remind me.
Now listen here, Glenn.
PJ Black is holding a press conference and says he will fight whether it's in the law, in the courtroom, or in the middle of the ring. One way or another, he will take out Shane McMahon for what he did, what pain, physically, emotionally, mentally, what he did to not only himself, but his fiancée, Stephanie McMahon. Did not realize they're not married yet, Chad. They're only engaged. They're not married. So apologies for calling them.
Maybe they never will be.
Well, there was a chance they wouldn't be because she was gone for 4 months by her evil, demented, twisted son of a bitch son, Shane McMahon, or brother. Sorry, Shane McMahon. So PJ Black calling out Shane McMahon. Backstage though, Chad, we got our U.S. title match on the line, and a lot of these matches run down the line of the patriarchy and Stevie Richards having a feud with the Stud Muffins and BG James and Chris Daniels. We saw the 5-on-5 match, and the feuds have kind of escalated and evolved from that, even on from October, where BG James took on Stevie Richards for the championship. Scott Studd, though, I think he said it's his time for the U.S. championship. You know, he is a guy that the fans have been behind for a while, but he has never been having that opportunity. He almost won that 5-on-5 match. He won the Devon Storm Invitational back in the day last year around this time, and he says it's 1 year ago I lost my friend Devon Storm, aka Crowbar, and now it's time to really memorialize him with a championship that he loved, the championship that he grew up watching. I guess the U.S. title wasn't really around when he was a kid, but Devon Storm really wanted to win it. I was gonna say Macho Man Randy Savage holding it, but I'm like, oh, that's he was the IC champion, wasn't he? Fuck. The U.S. championship in this game.
He had to have. Did he win a U.S. championship for WCW? He probably had to.
Yeah,
right?
probably, but we don't count those. Not in the WWE. That's a whole different belt. So yeah, Devon Storm just wanted to win a championship, and Scott said he's going to win it tonight for Devon Storm. This is his first title opportunity in a while. Scott Studd, around the 1 year ago, he lost his best friend Devon Storm. So the Stud Muffins come out tonight, and Stevie Richards comes out. He's the U.S. champion, Chad. He's been a dominant champion. Can that dominance continue tonight over Scott Studd, or will Scott Studd do it for his friends, do it for his family, and do it for Devon Storm? Can he win the U.S. championship, or will Steven Richards be a prick and defend his belt again? Who do you got?
Got Stevie Richards.
Chad, you are right.
I'm good.
Stevie Richards, after using a
86.
What do you mean an 86?
77 and a 72, get an 86.
Brother, look. You got bonuses. We got high title prestige, announcing quality. Got good experience, good announcing. The referee and Mark Johnson's sick. Hot crowd. Sergeant Slaughter's a great road agent. Inconsistency between the other two of the wrestlers. It should have been better. Chad's stunned. Should have. Yeah. So Stevie Richards using the United States Championship. Hitting Scott Studd when the referee was distracted trying to get the turnbuckle back on. And Steven Richards hits Scott Studd with the belt and pins him. 1, 2, 3. So again, Mark Johnson was the referee here in this match. And Stevie Richards makes this defense number 2 of the United States Championship. Until Eric Bischoff comes out yelling at Mark Johnson for what happened out here, and brings out a new referee and says this match has to be restarted. I saw that, Mark Johnson. You cannot be allowing this bullshit to happen. Brings out Brian Hebner, and Stevie Richards is visibly upset on this going down, and this match is restarted. And in 3:26, a flash pinfall. Scott Studd is your new United States champion, Chad.
Damn! What a twist!
Scott Studd doesn't. With the, I guess it's a dusty finish, or not really a dusty finish. That's Cody Rhodes is a dusty finish. That's gross. Stevie Rich, see this match, they both did better here, Chad, because the inconsistency was gone. Stevie got an 82. If this match went 17 and they got this would have had a 90. All right, put some god dang respect on Scott Studd and Steven Richards, Chad. All right, put some respect on him.
Fair enough.
Yeah, put some respect. Scott Studd is your new United States champion, and he celebrates with the Stud Muffins, Chad. Major stash and sick.
Crowbar was here to see it.
And yeah, as they were all former members of the Flock, and Riggs, Hammer, Sick Boy, they're doing it for Crowbar, who wasn't a member of the Flock.
Somewhere, Homicide was never able to find him, but somewhere Lodi's there crying.
If I could have used Lodi, I would have in this segment. But we move on. A TLC match is on the horizon. La Resistance, Robert Conway, Cheval Grenay, the two-time SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They won it last month at Survivor Series in a table match against the Dudleys. And then in the opening segment, opening segment of SmackDown following, they were sitting on the ladders. That's how we opened to the shot of SmackDown. They were sitting on ladders and they said, look, Dudleys, we can beat you at your own game. We're fighting champions. Come try to beat us at our games. The ladder match. back in the day, I was looking through the NXT logs. These guys won the tag team titles twice, the FCW Tag Team Championships, that's what they're called now, in the ladder matches. This is going straight off what the AI has booked. And so
Cool.
I'm running with the gimmick of their ladder expertise, their ladder specialist, and they will take on the Dudleys. How did the Thunder Dragons get into this? They're pissed off that they did runs. Their talent was used for extortion. They were sent to Japan to promote WWE, and they got to go wrestle on other cards, and they were promised title opportunities in Stardom, and they just haven't come. So they bitched and complained, and they fought their way into this match, Chad. So can they get this done, or will the Dudleys win? Will they beat the La Resistance at their game, making it a one-on-one best of 2 out of 3, or will the La Resistance continue being the ladder expertise and now be 3-0 in ladder matches? Chad, who do you got?
I've got La Resistance.
Oh, La Resistance. Well, Chad, in a massive match, La Resistance.
Oh, yeah.
Defend their tag team championships. Avant Garnier is another defense. I don't know. I just had a burp and my brain kind of just melted right there. I'm not going to lie. They retain their belts over 4 game competition, guys. Look, 87, 88, 85, 90. That's what we got here in the in-ring performances of the 4 other guys. Rob Conway, 66. Savon Grenier, 72. They're not there yet, but Lord, this going to help them. A massive match, a great win for La Resistance here tonight. And we now go to Chris Jericho versus Chad Collier. 3 more matches, Chad. We're almost there.
Hell yeah.
We're
Listen,
almost
I'm having a blast. This has been a banger so far.
Chris Jericho coming out first. We went over the story in the beginning of the night. These guys, Chad Collier kind of followed Chris Jericho around back in August, September area, July maybe. They had a one-on-one match at a pay-per-view. If I can get my old book out, that's a very unprofessional of me. I have all my notes now, all my bookings in like 3 separate books. So I got to figure out what's in what and who's in what and what's going on here. September, which was Bad Blood, Jericho defeated Chad Collier in a one-on-one match, which has led to I think Jericho hit him a little too hard in the head, which had led to Chad Collier kind of snapping back into conspiracy theory mode again. Little nut job, Chad Collier.
That's Chad Collier.
Yeah, that's the best Chad Collier, the little rat king, Chad Collier. Which led into some therapy sessions, which Chad Collier kind of flipped on his own head as he kind of did it to Jericho, a little taste of his own medicine. As Jericho was just trying to help, trying to snap him out of it. Good guy, Chris Jericho. But Chad took it to another level, becoming the evil therapist, being like a little Joker character, and turning the lights off, like laughing. Ha 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 ha. Oh, are you okay, Chris Jericho? Well, what do you want to talk about? That kind of stuff. And that is, we're here now. It's therapist versus therapy. It's Jericho. And then out comes Chad Collier, who comes out tied and locked up like he's like a sane asylum, someone who's supposed to be an insane asylum character, or in one of those guys. We had security guards, unhook him up, they key him out of his thing. Chad Collier is a freakazoid. He's taking on Chris Jericho tonight. Chad, who do you got?
Chad Collier, baby.
Chad, you're not gonna like this one. Chris Jericho continuously put Chad Collier on a lion tamer, and Jericho was just screaming at Collier to tap out, give up, and Chad Collier, in the state of insanity, just was withstanding the pain and just passed out of pain from the lion tamer. And that was it. Jericho beats him, Chad. He passes out of.
What a shame.
What a shame.
The conspiracy continues.
Well, technically, he didn't tap out. I know the game says he won by submission, but it was supposed to be by passed out. You can't do both, I don't think. You could just do it by like exhaustion. You can?
Oh, you can't.
Okay. It's weird. But yeah, Jericho beats him in 24-27 by passing out from the lion tamer, which is whatever. The game will do what the game does. All right. But 99 here, Chad. Chad Collier.
Oh yeah.
Only does bangers here. He beat Mick Foley last year. He loses to Jericho this year. Um, a friendship that is kind of turned on its head a little bit. Sean Stasiak, remember last month we went over the fact that he was trying to change Stone Cold Steve Austin from being a fugitive to a good American citizen, a good well-being citizen, and Austin lost a match, and he kind of looked at a beer and says, "You know what? I can't do this, Sean. I can't do this." And that's what tonight is like. Look, Sean. I appreciate you. This isn't a Stone Cold. How do you do a Stone Cold?
Listen, Sean, I appreciate all the help you've shown old Stone Cold. What?
But the fans are chanting for Stone Cold Steve Austin. Give me a hell.
What?
Yeah. What?
Hell yeah!
And Sean Stasiak is like, look, Steve.
Stone.
Look, Stone. Look, Steve. I don't even want to hear it, son. I know you forgot your line, Sean. I don't even want to hear it. If you want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin drink a beer, give me a hell yeah. And they give him a hell yeah. And Sean forgot his line here, brother. Sean's not a great promo guy. All right, he's good to look at and great in the ring, but he's not a good promo guy. Here, Sean. Here, son. Have a beer yourself. And Sean's like, I'm not gonna have one of your beers, Steve. All right. I'm trying to get my life back. I had everything. I was on top of the mountain, and I got out of line. And I assaulted our wonderful, good standing police officers that never do anything wrong. I attacked one of them. If you want to hear this guy shut up, give me a hell yeah. Stone Cold. Here, son, just have a beer. Just have a beer. And Steve gives him one, forces it into his hand, really. Gives him the clank, drinks a beer, stuns Sean Stasiak, and that gets the crowd hot. Stone Cold. Oh, hell yeah. We move on, Chad. It's this match. It's that son of a bitch, the schoolyard bully C.W. Anderson, making fun of a guy that's dying, and Doug Basham.
Men that reek of charisma, C.W. Anderson and D. Malenko. Oh, and then both these guys.
Hey, fuck you. Danny Basham is really taking this opportunity. He's fighting for his brother, who you can't talk crap about a man that's dying, as Doug Basham is. Danny Basham says, I'm going to take it to all the school. This is for all the kids that get bullied at school and everything. I'm going to beat C.W. Anderson's ass. You're right. He can't cut a promo. You're right. All right. Danny Basham can't cut a promo. And that's what he says. I'm going to beat his ass. Yeah.
I'm going to beat his ass. I'm going to bash him.
I'm not even going to ask you because Danny Basham was winning, brother. Danny Basham was winning from day one. Got an 85, which is cool. Danny Basham, though, hits him with the leg lariat and gets the job done in 21-42. Stands up to the schoolyard bully C.W. Anderson, Chad. Good for Danny Basham.
God. Good for Danny Basham.
Who would have thought, Chad, in the starting of this save, that the co-main event of a pay-per-view in 2003 would have been headlined by Danny Basham and C.W. Anderson? And what you would have said was, who is C.W. Anderson? We move on to our main event, Chad. I forgot. I changed Christian's picture. What an idiot. What an idiot. He's taking on Shinya Hashimoto. We went over the story earlier tonight, but now it is time, Chad. Hashimoto wanting to win the world championship for his fallen friend Misawa, but Christian Cage had other plans. And now it has led to this blood match here. Maybe not a blood match, but a match between two bitter rivals. It's Christian Cage, Shinya Hashimoto. Main event of Armageddon, Chad. Who do you have?
I have Christian Cage.
Oh, you son of a bitch, Chad. Christian Cage does win in 26-23. Beating Shinya Hashimoto. I had no more time for a post-match segment, so that is your show. Christian Cage and the Patriarchy going 3-0 tonight. All four members win tonight, Chad. The best heel group in wrestling, question mark? As they get into they back it up in the ring, Chad. They back it up in the ring.
97?
Christian Cage, though, is your winner here tonight. Yeah, 97 here, Chad. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
this is the
Banger pay-per-view.
definition of a B-rated pay-per-view. We got the Rumble waiting. Chad, do you before we go, and if anyone's watching, I forgot to add this in because I had zero time. Do you want to know what happened on Monday Night Raw last Monday? It was the Super Raw Showdown, as we have on the last Monday Night Raw of every year. We always have a banger Monday Night Raw. Do you want to know what happened, or do you just want me to continue to not tell you? Okay, so we had some major matches at the December Week 4 Monday Night Raw. Three title matches, Chad. Right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 title matches, including a new women's champion. Chyna is your new women's champion as she defeated Chigusa Nagayo in 1738. Chyna is your new women's
1738
champion. Hassan and Daivari get another big win over a slumping and a tag team that needs to figure out what's going wrong. Dylan Martin and Gabriel Barton losing to Muhammad Hassan and Sean Daivari. Jun Akiyama finally got his hands on Orlando Jordan and defeated him in 21-12 in a highly intense match between the Blue Thunder, Jun Akiyama, and the bounty hunter assistant, Orlando Jordan. Whatever. I don't know his nickname. A match between two of the top talent in the game. The winner will be in the Royal Rumble. The loser will not be, Chad. When Brock Lesnar started attacking John Cena and Shannon Moore, John Cena wanted this match to have some meaning, to have some purpose behind it. The loser of John Cena, Brock Lesnar on Monday Night Raw Super Show, the loser would be out of the Royal Rumble. And John Cena got the job done, eliminating Brock Lesnar from the Royal Rumble, getting the win. John Cena will be in your Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar actually on the week before started the show coming out of Gorilla, like coming out of on the entrance ramp, no music, nothing. The announcer Jim Ross was like, "What the hell? What the hell's going on over there?" Brock Lesnar was dragging a unconscious and bloody Shannon Moore out to the ramp like a hunter would bring a deer out of the woods. Dropped it there and left. It was a very what's the word? A strong visual that you started to see Monday Night Raw with. We had a Intercontinental Championship Battle Royal as Teddy Hart at Survivor Series was beaten to a bloody pulp and was medically uncleared to defend his title. Vince said whoever won the Battle Royal would be the new Intercontinental Championship. Anyone can enter. That match was down to 2 people. It was down to Francisco Cuevo and Kid Cash, and Francisco Cuevo eliminated Kid Cash to become the new until Teddy Hart's music came playing, and Teddy Hart wobbled his way to the ring, and somehow, by the grace of gods, eliminated Francisco Cuevo to retain his Intercontinental Championship, which in turn let Francisco beat the fuck out of him again. And our main event, our WWE title match, it was Jeff Jarrett taking on the winner of a Fatal 4-Way earlier in the month. It was a Fatal 4-Way between William Regal, Latin Lover, Rene Dupree, and Edge won that match. It was Jeff Jarrett, Edge for the World Championship, which had Jeff Jarrett winning the match, retaining his belt in a cheeky little roll-up fast pin using his legs on the rope. And then after the match, the Awesome Lovers came out and attacked Edge, which in turn Rene Dupree and Regal, who are now calling themselves the Union, save Edge from the Awesome Lovers. That was Super Raw. I felt like a big Raw. I needed to showcase what happened because it had a title change and multiple important matches happening in it. But that has been 2003. We will see you for the review, the year-end review show, the show Chad loves because he loves to fall asleep during it, looking over the results of Ring of Honor in July.
Justin, I brewed coffee. This is like the good old days, Justin, when we were up till the crack of dawn recording.
Yeah, so this is probably the quickest we've gone through a year and a while, right? We started this year, 2003, maybe 5 months ago.
I just goes to show why I think switching to pay-per-views only was a good idea.
Yeah, I think when we're cooking 6 months ago. So half a year to get a year done. That's not. I mean, with my work schedule, with how awful that is, I think that's pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty goddamn good.
That's pretty good.
We'll see you for the year-end review. Chad, any last thoughts?